بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. In the previous episode we began with Tanween, or what we also called two fathas, and we said that it makes an un sound. Inshallah we'll go over some revision. Thereafter we'll move on to today's lesson. Today's lesson is where there are two kasras, and it's called, or the sound that's made is in. And inshallah we'll be going over that along with the exercise bi'idhnillah. So I'll just share my screen and then we'll be able to start reading inshallah. So Brother Dawood, inshallah you could start with the revision. Let me get my book open. Bismillah. So are you on the page where it starts anbantan?
Yes.
Okay, Bismillah. You could start
Bismillah.
reading this page, please.
An, ban, tan, than, jan, han.
Okay, so we're pulling it. We're not pulling it that much. We're trying to cut it. Yeah, in English, if you've got like one A, we want about a quarter of that. So an, ban,
Okay.
tan.
An, ban, tan, than, jan, han, khan, dan, than, ran, zan, san, shan, son, don, ton, an, khan, than, khan, can, lan, man, nan, han, wan, yan.
Ahsant. The line going from qan, again, we want to give it a little bit short. We don't want to pull it too much. So just this line, all the others were good. Qan, can, lan,
man, nan,
man.
han,
Ahsant.
man.
Ahsant. Well done. Khaybar, could you read the exercise, please, the first 4 lines?
Salam alaikum.
Salam.
Aina, ban, ma, maqtan, mara, han, marahan, ahadan. Shall I carry on?
Carry on. Four lines. So you've read 2. 2 lines.
Adhan, khayran, fawzan, ka'san.
Hassan, Brother Dawood, could you please read the rest?
Dan,
Qardan. A little bit fuller.
Qordon,
Ahsant.
wasatan,
A little bit fuller. Tan.
wasatan,
Well done.
he, than, haftan.
Okay, just remember with a sukoon here in the middle, we said we can't read it, so we look at the previous letter. He, and then you get to the fa, you can't read it, so you can't even go like, you just say he, and then next letter can't read, so go back to the beginning. Hifdhan.
Hiftan,
Ahsant.
na, af, han, nafhan,
Naf'an.
naf'an, an,
Ahsant.
anifan,
Anifan.
anifan,
Well done.
man,
Mu.
mulkan,
Ahsant.
haraman.
Okay, so just remember when we're reading, because we'll be going through this in the whole book. Ha, ra, and then repeat these two together. Hara, and then man.
Ha, ra,
Haraman.
hara, man, haraman.
Well done.
Tha, ma, thama, nan, thamanan.
MashaAllah. Well done. Excellent. So we move on to today's lesson, inshallah. In the previous module, we took kasrah and we said it makes an E sound. Now we're taking two kasras, so it makes an in sound. In sound. Literally like this. I and N in English. And if you look at it, originally we said whenever there's two, it means there was actually or originally a noon with a sukun at the end. So it was like this. You've got your Hamza, and then you had E. That correct, Brother Dawood? This is E, correct?
E, yeah.
And then you put a noon here with a sukun, and that is in, correct?
In, yes.
Okay, now instead of writing another letter along with this, they just simplified it. So instead of writing all that, they just put
a
this
double.
and they said that they put a double and it makes the same sound.
In.
So I'll start off. Bismillah. So this is in, bin, tin, thin. Brother Khaybar.
In, bin, tin, thin.
Ahsan. Brother Dawood.
In, bin, tin, thin.
Ahsant. Next one. Jin, hin, khin, din. Khaybar.
Jin, hin, khin, din.
Ahsant. Dawood.
Jin, hin, khin, din.
Well done. The ha, we want it a little bit stronger. So we're going to say hin.
Yeah. Jin, hin, khin, din.
Ahsant. Dhin, rin, zin, sin. Khaybar.
Then, rin, zin, sin.
Ahsant. Brother Dawood.
Thin, rin, zin, sin.
Ahsant. Well done. Your dhal is also coming out well. Just one more time, repeat it. Dhin,
Thin, rin, zin, sin.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Excellent. Next one. Shin, sin, din. Look, it's a tall letter, so we're making it fuller. Tin. Khaybar.
Shin, sin, lin, tin.
Ahsant, Brother Dawood.
Shin, sin, din, tin.
Ahsant. Next one, again, a tall letter. Dhin, in, ghin, fin. Khaybar.
Then, in, ghin, fin.
Brother Dawood.
Thin, in, ghin, fin.
Ahsant. This one here that's round, that looks like a Q, a little bit fuller. Qin, kin, lin, min. Khaybar.
Pin, kin, lin, min.
Ahsant, Brother Dawood.
Kin, kin, lin, min.
Ahsant. Nin, hin, win, yin. Khaybar.
Nin, hin, win, yin.
Ahsant, Brother Dawood.
Min, hin, win, yin.
Ahsant. How would you like to remember the wow? Maybe if you look at, can you see this little hole here with the wow?
I usually don't have trouble with the wow, but sometimes I have trouble with my memory. It just freezes a little bit, and that's what just happened. So,
Win. So if you want to remember, can you see that little hole there on the head? So Also, when you put your mouth like that, or when you put your lips like that with a small hole, you're almost going to say wow. So like this, win, win, win.
Okay.
Or maybe
Nin,
that's
chen, win, yin.
Ahsan. Brother Dawood, could you read the exercise for us, please? The whole exercise.
Oh. In, bin, tin, thin, jin, chen, din, thin, rin, zin, sin, shin, sin, dun, thin, ein, ren, fin, kin, lin, min, nin, hin, win, yin.
Ahsant. Well done. MashaAllah. So now we move on to the exercise where we're reading the words. Let me start off, inshallah. Here. First one. The first letter alone, sha. And then the next letter I see is sukoon. I can't read it. So I go back to the first letter and join. Shay. And then the last letter, in. And then all together, shay'in. Okay, so let me start. Sha, shay, in, shay'in. La, ha, laha, bin, lahabin. Khaybar.
شا شيء شيء لا ها لها بن لهب
Okay, read shay'in alone, just the word itself.
شيء
Okay. We don't want to separate between, it's one word, so it's not shay'in. It's shay'in, shay'in.
شيء
Ahsant, Brother Dawood.
Sha, shay, in, shayin.
Ahsant.
La, ha, laha, bin, lahabin.
Well done. Next one. This is the long wavy one, so it makes an ah sound. Ah, ya, aya, tin, ayatin. Again, this round one, but it's got two dots, means a ta. A, sukoon, we can't read it. Go back to the previous letter. Ab, last one. Din, abdin. Khaybar.
آية 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 عبد عبد عبد
Ahsant, Brother Dawood.
A, ya, tin. Aya, tin. Ayatin.
Okay, look, so this first one, we're pulling it more than the others. We're pulling it double than what we're pulling the others. So this one will be ah, and then the next one we're not pulling.
Ya,
Yeah,
aya,
tin. No,
ayatin.
you're saying ayatin. We want ayatin.
Ayatin.
Well done, because this is like a double vowel here, or double syllable. Ayatin. One more time, just say the word alone. Just say this word alone.
Ayatin.
Well done.
Ha,
Well done.
ha, hab, habdin.
Okay, so why is this a ha?
Because that's a, oh, is that an ain?
Ain, yes.
I, abdin, abdin.
Again, one more time.
Abdin, abdin.
Well done. Ahsan. So, do you remember how a hamza looks like? Just a small thing like this. Do you remember it?
Yes.
Small s. So when it's a big one close to a hamza, it's an a. Hamza makes an sound. It's small. This one is much bigger.
Yeah.
Ahsant.
Ab.
أحسنت. Next one. سا فا سفا رين سفر نا نف سن نفس خيبر.
سا فا سفا رن سفر نا نف سن نفس.
أحسنت brother داود.
Sa, fa, safarin. Safarin.
أحسنت.
Na, naf, nafsin. Nafsin.
أحسنت. Well then, you're getting the hang of it, mashallah. This one here got a Dammah. فو رو فرو شن فروش أ أرض أرض خيبر.
فو رو فرو شن فروش أ أرض أرض.
أحسنت brother داود.
Fu, ru, furu, shin. Furushin. A, ar, ardin.
أحسنت. So the last letter
Din.
the
Din.
last letter is win.
Yeah, with a
أحسنت.
like a doll. A doll.
ضاء. أحسنت.
Da.
راء را ره طن رهط ز زر عن زرع خيبر.
را راح طن راحت ز زر عين زرع.
أحسن هذا داود.
Ra, rah, rahtin.
Okay, not too strong. This quite it's gentle.
Ra, rah, rahtin.
أحسنت.
Tha, thar, tharin. Tharain.
Okay, why is this a dad at the beginning?
What do you mean?
What sound is at the beginning?
Ta.
No.
Ta.
Again. No, this is the word above. The ta is at the bottom. This is za.
Da.
Z, 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 like electrical interference. Z,
The.
za, za.
The. Dar.
Z A
Dar.
Z A Z A. Not val. This is zai.
Za. The. Zar. Zarain.
Accent again. After me. Za.
Za.
Zar.
Zar.
In.
In.
In. Zar'in.
Ein. Zarin.
Accent. Well done. Next one. Ju. Ru. Juru. Fin. Jurufin. Ta. Ba. Taba. قن طبق خيبر.
جو رو جرو فن جروف طا با طبق طبق.
أحسنت brother داود.
Ju. Ru. Juru. Fin. Jurufin. Ta. Ba.
طا طا طا
طا.
طا.
Ta. Ba. Tabaqin.
Okay, again, you're not reading the last letter alone. طا با طبق طبق.
Ta.
Again.
Ba. Baba. Kin. Tabaqin.
أحسنت. فا لا فلا كن فلك را جو رجو لن رجل خيبر.
فلا فلا كن فلك را جو رجل رجل.
أحسنت brother داود.
Fa. La. Fala. Kin. Falakin. Ra, Zu, Razu, Lin. Razulin.
Again, look at the middle letter again closely. Ra,
Raju, Rajulin.
ahsan. Rajulin.
Rajulin.
Ahsan. Last one. Qa, qawmin. Qa, qarnin. Khaybar.
ق قو من قوم ق قرن
Ahsan. Brother Dawood.
Qa,
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 Ahsan.
yeah. Qa,
Put your lips around, make a round
Qa,
circle.
Qaw, Qawmin.
Qaw, and then the last letter alone. You forgetting the last letter alone. Again,
Min.
the whole letter. Everything
Qaw,
starts from the beginning.
Qa,
Qaw,
Qawmin.
min. You're
Qawmin.
forgetting min alone.
Qawmin.
After me. Qa,
Qa,
qaw, min.
Qawmin.
Min alone.
Min.
Qawmin.
Qawmin.
Ahsan. Next one.
Ka,
Qa.
Qa, Qarnin.
So again,
Qarnin.
you're not mentioning all the steps. We need to get used to it because there's going to be
I
more and more and more and more exercises coming. So qa, qar,
Qar.
nin.
Qarnin.
No, from you see, from here, you're saying this correctly. One, you're saying qa. Well done.
Qa.
Then you're saying
Qar.
qa. That's one, and then qar. That's two, and then nin alone. This one here, you're not saying it alone. This one here, this one here, this one here. So I'll read it again. Qa, qar, nin, qarnin. Same with the first one. Qa, qaw, min, qawmin. Qa, qar, nin, qarnin. Brother Dawood.
Yes.
Brother Dawood. The last two letters, please.
Qa, Qar, Qarnin.
Okay. First letter, second letter, you've got it. Qa, qar. Right? Then we want you to say this last letter alone. We want you to say it alone.
Okay. Qa, Qar.
Last letter alone.
Nin.
Ahsant. Whole word.
Qarnin.
Well done. And then do you want us to take the next lesson? We won't take the exercise because the exercise we'll take it tomorrow, inshallah. But at least we'll start with bun, tun, because I think you guys have mastered the concept, mashallah, and we'll just read through this. It will be short, inshallah. Then we move on to writing. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Brother Dawood, is that okay?
Fine with me, yes.
Okay, that's your favorite. Dammah.
It's only 10. Yeah. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, mashallah. So as we mentioned, first we took 2 fathas, an. Then we took 2 kasras, in. Now we're coming to ad-dammah or dammah. Dammah, we said, when it's 1, it makes an oo sound, right? Makes an oo sound. So for example, if you've got a ba here, you would say bu. And then if you write 2 of them, it's bun. Again, you're ending off with your n here, basically un, making an un sound. Originally, as we said before, It was a ba like this with a Dammah. That was bu. And then we had a noon with a sukun. Bun. And in order to summarize all this shortcut, they just put it here, doubled it. Bun. Okay. So let me start, inshallah. Bismillah. Un, bun, tun, thun. Khaybar.
Un, bun, tun, thun.
Okay, in Arabic it's a clear oo. It's not oo. Oo.
Un,
Again. Un,
bun,
bun, bun. If
tun.
need be, make your mouth round. Make your lips round so that you're getting the whole oo sound. Not where you're throwing out the sound without moving your lips. So here you want bun, tun, thun. Some people say bun, tun, thun, and that's a mix between a Dammah and a Fatha. We want a clear Dammah. Again.
Un, bun, tun, thun.
Ahsant, Brother Dawood.
Un, bun, tun, thun.
Ahsant, well done. Just don't pull it again. So not un, bun, un, bun,
tun,
tun, thun. Well done. Next one. Jun, hun, khun, dun. Khaybar.
Jun, hun, khun, dun.
Brother Dawood.
June, hun, kun, dun.
Okay, again, we're not pulling them. Jun,
Jun,
hun, khun, dun.
dun.
Ahsant. Again, by yourself, the line.
Jun, hun, kun, dun.
Ahsant, well done. Dhun, run, zun, sun. Khaybar.
Dhun, run, zun, sun.
Ahsant, Brother Dawood.
Thun, run, zun, sun.
Ahsant. So again, with this one, dhal, we want a sound.
Yeah.
Dhun.
Which
Okay.
one? Which one?
First one.
Yeah. Thun, run,
Dhun.
zun, sun.
Well done. Now we want to try the same line without pulling it. Dhun, run, zun, sun.
Dun, run, zun, sun.
Well done. Shun, sun, dun, tun. Khaybar.
Shun, sun, dun, tun.
Ahsant, Brother Dawood.
Shun, sun, dun, tun.
Okay, mashallah. The last two, again, we want a clear Dammah. We want a clear oo sound. So, dun, tun.
Dun, tun.
Ahsant, mashallah. With practice, inshallah, it will get to 100%. It will be a clear Dammah. Next one. Tall letter. It's fuller. Dhun, run, ghun, thun. Khaybar.
Dhun, un, ghun, fun.
Ahsant, Brother Dawood.
Tun,
Dhun.
thun, run, run, fun.
Ahsant. Next one here, qaf, it's round, it's a little bit fuller. Qun, this one here is not round, it's open, so we open our mouth a little bit, it's less. Kun, lun, mun. Khaybar.
Kun, kun, lun, mun.
Ahsant, Brother Dawood.
Kun, lun, moon.
Ahsant. Okay, again, the kun, we're not pulling it, because if you say kun, it's a different meaning. This is kun.
Kun. Khun,
Ahsant.
kun, lun, mun.
Ahsant. Last line. Nun, nun, hun, wun, yun. Let me read that one more time. Nun, hun, wun, yun. Khaybar.
Nun, Hun, Wun, Yun.
Ahsant. Brother Dawood.
Nun, hun, wun, yun.
Ahsant. Well done. Brother Dawood, could you read the whole lesson for us today? This whole lesson.
Un, bun, tun, dun, jun, hun, khun, dun, thun, run, zun, sun, shun, sun, don, ton, tun, aun, gun, fun, gun, fun, kun, kun, lun, mun, nun, hun, wun, yun.
Okay, the third last line, the first letter. Please read that one.
Ton, ton.
Ahsant. Vun. So if you look at it with the dhal, we said we want the one not above it is shun, and above that
Shun.
is dhun. So dhun, when you're saying, for example, the in English, we want that type of a sound.
The, dun,
Dhun.
dun.
This
Yeah.
one, then
Run.
the one below it is shun, and the one below it, below shun, is dhun. So we want it fuller.
Dun.
So instead of
Dun. Yeah.
we want, so instead of we want dhun, dhun.
Dun, dun.
So you see these two.
Hun, 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 Yun, Hun, Hun.
Who's reading?
Kyber.
Shall I?
So here with this one, we said the English the. So we want that type of a sound. And this one here, we want it fuller. So it's close, but it's not the same. There's no English way to show it. But we want this very full. So instead of we're making our mouth fuller, and we want a stronger sound. So we say vun, vun. Understood?
Yes. Alhamdulillah.
Any questions?
No.
No,
Nothing. Inshallah, tomorrow we will take this exercise. Inshallah. And today we'll do some writing. Why I'm leaving this exercise, so tomorrow again we can go over Dammah and we'll be able to recap, inshallah. Let's go to our writing book. Brother Dawood, where did we stop?
We stopped at Dod. Dod. Now we're on Ta.
Ahsant, yes. Okay, so you can read for us and write, please.
The first one, I'm just reading because it's already there in red. Ta, Ya, Ra, Alif.
Ahsan, so you've got your trolley now sorted out. Two underneath,
Yes.
wheels.
Yes.
Well done.
Ta, Ya, Ra, Alif. Ta,
Ahsant.
Ya, Ra, Alif. Ta, Ya, Ra, Alif. Okay. Now I have Ya, and again that's
Speed hum.
Ain.
Ahsant, well done.
Then Ta, Ya, Kaf.
Well done.
So Ya, Ha, Ta, Ha.
Yeah. Second letter, please.
Ya,
Second letter.
Ya, Ha, Ya,
No, what?
Ain, Ya, Ain, Ta, Ya, Ka.
Kaf.
Kaf.
Ahsant again.
So Ya, Ain, Ta, Ya, kaf.
أحسنت. Well done.
Ya, ain, ta, ya, kaf.
أحسنت.
Ya,
Next one.
ain. I have one more to finish.
Okay.
Ta, ya, kaf. Okay.
أحسنت. Next.
Mim, mim, ha, ya, ta.
أحسن. So if you just look at my mouse here, can you see my mouse?
Yes.
Okay, so on the second letter, sometimes you are confusing the ayn with the ha because it was coming out like this. So you just want to remember, once this thing here is protruding
That's a
and it's
ha.
quite
Yeah.
big, yeah. So this one here is a ha, but if it's going like this, then that's an ayn.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, well done. Let's go.
Okay. So mim, ha, ya, ta. Mim, ha, ya, ta. Mim, ha, ya, ta.
أحسنت. Next one.
Tha.
Va. So we said
Va.
with val is a the sound.
The,
This one
yeah.
is close,
Tha.
but we want it fuller. Va.
Tha. Tha.
Ahsant, well done.
Da. Oh my God. The noon.
Well done.
The noon. The noon. The noon.
Ahsant.
Okay. Fa. La.
Lam.
Ya.
The name is Lam.
Fa. Lam. Ya.
One dot on the top. It's in the previous word also.
Yeah. Noon.
Ahsant.
Ta. Ra.
Ahsant, well done.
So this is fa, lam, ya, I get confused with this one. I just had it too.
Is there no way to remember it? Can we not find a way?
Noon. I'm
Noon.
not sure. Noon. Yeah, noon. No, I just gotta keep practicing. All right, fa,
I'm thinking of a
lam,
way to remember it. I can't really find one.
fa, lam, noon,
Fa, lam, and then your trolley.
fa, lam, ya, noon, ta, ra.
Ahsant.
Fa, lam, ya, noon, ta.
Last
Okay.
letter. Last letter.
Ha.
Ra. Did you read the ra? After va, ra.
So ra. I missed the ra. Yeah.
Ahsant.
Ha, alif, fa, ta.
Ahsant.
Ha, alif, fa, ta. Ha, alif, fa, ta. Ha, alif, fa, Thaw.
Ahsant. We'll take the next two, inshallah, if that's okay with you guys.
Ain. Ain. Lam. Ya. Mim.
Ahsant.
Ain.
Ain,
Lam.
ain.
Ain. Lam. Ya. Mim.
Ahsant.
Ain. Lam. Ya. Mim.
Ahsant.
Ain. Lam. Ya. Mim.
Ahsant.
Ya. Ain. Lam. Mim.
MashaAllah. So you've got this one, the speed hump.
Yeah. Ya. Ain. Lam. Mim. Ya. Ain. Lam. Mim. Ya. Ain. Lam. Mim.
Well done. Next one.
Saw.
No.
Mim.
Again.
Oh, sorry. Seen. Seen.
Then.
Seen. Mim. Ya. Ain.
Ahsant.
Seen. Seen. Mim. Ya. Ain.
Ain. So when you're saying ain, you want to
Ain.
open your mouth a little bit. Well done.
Seen. Mim. Ya. Ain.
Ahsant.
Seen. Mim. Ya. Ain.
Ain, ain.
Ain.
Ahsant. Next.
Ghain. Ghain. Ya. Ba.
Ahsant.
Ghain. Ya. Ba. Ain.
Ghain, ghain.
Ghain. Ya. Ba.
Ahsant.
Ghain. Ya. Ba.
Ahsant.
Alif. Lam. Mim. Ghain. Ya. Ra. Alif. Ta.
Well done.
Ain. Lam.
Alif,
Mim.
alif, lam. Alif, lam.
Alif.
Alif.
Alif. Lam. Mim. Ghain. Ya. Ra. Alif. Ta.
Ahsant.
Alif. Lam. Mim. Ghain. Ya. Ra. Alif. Ta.
Ahsant.
Alif. Lam. Mim. Ghain. Ya. Ra. Alif. Ta.
Ahsant.
Okay. Seen. Seen. One on top. Seen the one on top. Val.
Noon. 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 Val is not connected to anything. Can't be connected if it's in the middle.
Ah, that's right. Okay, that's a distinction again.
Zai, Val, Dal, they can't be connected. This one here is one dot on the top.
Seen.
Noon.
Noon. Wow.
No.
No.
Seen. Noon. Then.
Zai. No. Circular one.
Seen. Noon.
Dod.
Seen. Noon.
Seen. Noon. Dod.
Okay, go back to your reading book and see where you find this letter and tell me.
I'm looking for it.
So the first module. Try.
It's fa. Fa.
Fa. Well done. Sin, Nun, Fa.
Sin, Nun, Fa, Ra, Ghain.
Ahsant.
Sin, Nun, Fa, Ra, Ghain.
Ahsant.
Sin, Nun, Fa, Ra, Ghain. Sin, Nun, Fa, Ra, Ghain.
You finished?
Yeah.
Ahsant. Well done. Do you want to take the last word on this page? Or in fact, we leave it
Fa.
till tomorrow.
Okay.
We take these two tomorrow because they are paired.
Yeah.
They're close to each other, so at least we
Yeah.
have them at the same time, inshallah. So alhamdulillah, we
Okay.
managed to cover quite a bit, and we still quite early than we usually are. Any questions? Anything anybody wants to say?
No, alhamdulillah.
No.
Nothing? I haven't been giving you guys any Arabic words. I haven't been mentioning any things in Arabic. Inshallah, from the next lesson, remind me. But I'll give you with, let's find a word which is easy, which you guys can remember. In fact, a word that we use. Brother Dawood, what's the situation you were in and you wanted to remember a word and you couldn't remember it? You wanted to ask a question or move or do something. Anything that comes to your mind?
The one I wanted to ask a question.
No, has there ever been a situation here whilst you were living here and you wanted to speak or ask a question in Arabic, but the word didn't come to you? A situation that you're in a lot of the times and you don't have the Arabic word. Any word that comes to your mind? Anything in English? You know its translation?
No, I've usually asking a question here, you know, like Bikam Hadi or Kam Hadi or, you know, something like that, is you just say it and they understand that you're asking how much. So,
MashaAllah.
but I don't ask many questions here, believe me.
Okay, but for the others who are following, they may not have picked that up. When you go to the shop and you want to know how much is something, basically you use the word kam. Kam means literally how much. You're speaking about money. So sometimes you can lift your thing up and say kam. So he knows what you're talking about. How much is this? Sometimes you point at it. It's not in your hand. So you say, or you pick it up. You don't know what it is, and you say kam hadha, kam hadhihi,
Kam Hada. Yeah.
kam hadha. And later on, we'll take masculine, feminine, everything, inshallah. But for now, if you're going somewhere, you need to ask the price. Just say kam or become.
Bikam. Yeah.
Kam, yeah, kam, become, etc. Kam
Yeah,
hadha.
there's always a shortening. Yeah.
Yeah, if you want the shortest of the short, kam, 2 letters only. Kam, how much? So when you walk into the shop and you pick up something or you point at something and just say kam. So from the words we've taken, if you had to walk into the shop, Brother Dawood, and let's say you were about 10 meters away from the cashier. Firstly, if you wanted to get his attention, what would you say?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
here, because you might not know the guy's name, so everybody is Ya Muhammad.
Yeah, Mohammed. Yeah.
Ya Muhammad. Right. So you'd get his attention, say, Ya Muhammad. Right. Now, let's say you've got something from the shelf and you want to ask him how much. How would you do it? Would you just lift it up and
I'd
say
Kam min huna. And point to
yeah,
it.
kam hadha.
Kam Hada. Point to it.
Kam
Yeah.
hadha. How much is this? Or you lift it up and it's like you asking a question. You say kam, which is like how much? And then he
much?
sees what's in your hand.
Hada.
Then
This.
you carry on. You know, if you get if you're able to ask a few questions here and there and just yes and no. So na'am for yes, la for no, as long as you understand what's going on.
But I have a question about la. it's not used very much here.
La in what sense?
For example, people always say mafi, and I think they exchange mafi for la. When is it mafi and when is it la?
Okay, so it depends on the verb. It depends on the way you want to use it. So usually here they've got mafi. Mafi means we don't have, it's not with us, etc. Mafi.
But I thought the difference between la. Do you have that? I ask, do you have this? And they say la. But you say,
so,
do you have this? And they say mafi, meaning not now. Not I don't have it now. I have it other times, but not now. But if they say la, it means they don't carry it. They don't have it at all.
Not necessarily in terms of what they're referring to. So usually if they're saying la or mafi, the shopkeeper is meaning one and the same thing, means we don't have it.
Yeah, they're just mixing it.
We don't have it, yeah. So it's just about understanding what he means. Sometimes he may use a whole different word. La.
Yeah, the only time I've heard la is when you say something that people obviously disagree with, and they say la 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 la, and they kind of put it together like that.
Yeah. Anything else? Any questions, suggestions?
لا.
What's that?
Mafi.
ما عندكم شيء. Okay, inshallah, today we end off with a fa'idah. Before I came, I was reading one of the books of tafsir, more so tadabbur, is basically where people reflect, ponder over the verses. Sometimes in the books of tafsir you find that sometimes as a scholar is pondering over the verse, he comes out with a piece of benefit. So the longest verse in the Quran, anybody knows which surah it's in?
Surah Al-Baqarah.
I would assume Baqarah, yeah.
What is it?
I don't know.
What is it speaking about?
Ayatul Kursi, Juz 3.
No. Why Ayatul Kursi? Longest, not most powerful.
Oh, longest. It's about halal and haram.
It's about halal and haram fiqh.
Yeah.
What's it speaking about? As long as you're not looking up.
Is it talaq? Is it talaq?
No.
No. I don't know.
Longest verse in the Quran is speaking about dayn, is speaking about debt, is speaking about money, is speaking about protecting each other's rights, it's speaking about the transaction. Basically, it's all speaking about debt and protecting the rights of one another. Basically, Allah is saying that Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu idha tadayantum bidaynin ila ajalin musamman faktubuh. Basically, oh you who believe, when you are working with debt, so somebody is giving the other a loan, etc. إذا تداينتم بدين إلى أجل مسمى, you're giving him on credit, you're giving him a loan and he's going to pay later on. إلى أجل مسمى فاكتبوه, then you should write it down. This is the longest verse in the Quran. It's all speaking about this debt. It shows us firstly the importance of how Allah has given importance and emphasis and how He has protected the right of every Muslim, every person, even when it comes to their financial dealings. And then the verse carries on. There's a lot that can be mentioned. For example, Allah says, وَلَا تَسْأَمُوا أَن تَكْتُبُوهُ صَغِيرًا أَوْ كَبِيرًا إِلَى أَجَلِهِ. Basically, don't feel lazy when it comes to writing it down, even if it's little or even if it's a lot. One of the scholars, or the book I was reading, they had mentioned that in one of the verses where Allah says, إذا تداينتم بدين إلى أجل مسمى فاكتبوه وليكتب بينكم كاتب بالعدل ولا يأبى كاتب أن يكتب كما علمه الله. As you know, in those days, not everybody could write. So if somebody wanted to practice upon this verse, they wanted to get whatever transaction written down, they maybe the person themselves didn't know how to write, and the person who was giving the money or taking the money, the other party, also didn't know how to write. So they had to find somebody to write. So Allah is saying, Allah is addressing those who had the skill of writing. He's saying that for those who know how to write, وَلَا يَأْبَ كَاتِبٌ أَن يَكْتُبْ. A katib, one who knows how to write, shouldn't refuse to write. وَلَا يَأْبَ كَاتِبٌ أَن يَكْتُبَ كَمَا عَلَّمَهُ اللَّهُ. Like how Allah has taught him. What should he do? فَلْيَكْتُبْ. He should write. So some of the scholars mention that look at how Allah is telling somebody who has a skill that the others don't have. He is telling them that when your skill is needed, people don't have the skill, then you should spend, you should give it, you should allow the people to benefit from the skills that Allah has given you that they don't have. So look here, this verse is speaking about somebody who knows how to write. Allah is saying that there's people in front of you who don't know how to write. You know how to write, they're asking you to write for them. فَلْيَكْتُبْ. Write for them. Why? Because Allah is the one who taught you this at the end of the day. So similarly, when it comes to something you know, something you have knowledge about, a skill you may possess, it doesn't have to be a dunyawi skill. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be something in the deen. It doesn't have to be, I know all of Arabic, etc., etc. Maybe that's part of it. But also when it comes to a worldly skill, you know how to fix a car. The others don't know how to. They're asking you to do it. Help them, as long as you're able to, because with the correct intention, it's a good deed. So basically what I wanted to mention is look at how a skill, even when it comes to something worldly, can be of benefit to others. And with the correct intention, it's also a good deed. And the one who has these skills shouldn't withhold them from others as long as they're asking. So for example, you're the only person in your neighborhood or in your city or in your town who knows how to read and write in Arabic, and you know how to teach. And somebody comes to you and they say, you know what, teach us. A few people come, teach us. There's nobody to teach us. Don't withhold that skill. Teach them. Somebody doesn't know fiqh, they're asking to be taught. You're able to. There's nobody else they can find. Teach them. That's from the knowledge that Allah taught you, and allow the others to benefit. And you'll see barakah not only in your knowledge but in all other things, and reward in the akhirah also, bi'idhnillah. With those few words, we ask Allah to grant us goodness, beneficial knowledge, and make us from people who benefit others, and from those whose good deeds carry on after death. Ameen.
Amen.
Inshallah, we see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow is our normal time. Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Okay. Fi amanillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.